All right, nice job. So Mr. Belville just asked if we could give a spectrum update, and so Tom's going to do that for us.
Hello. So Spectrum update. Spectrum was here Tuesday to do another survey of the building. This is the actual group that will do the construction. So they're a lot more picky about, the marketing guy comes in, it's like, oh no, we'll just do the whole thing. This is the guys that actually have to do the work. So they're going back to meet to come up with a plan, and will get back with us within hopefully this next week on a start date. That start date probably will not be within the next week or two, but sometime out. But I will probably be able to give you a more firm update sometime late next week.
Thanks, Tom. Any other questions for Tom? All right. Well, I thought we could just spend a little time today talking about your new servers in the dining room. Are you enjoying that? Good, because it's quite exciting, isn't it? So obviously we are in a really tough situation with our servers in the culinary department and also our diet aides. So basically anyone who serves food, we are having an incredibly hard time finding, retaining, and enjoying our servers. So for the next 2 weeks, you're going to be seeing between 4 and 5 leadership team members Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. On Tuesday this week, we were not needed, but you will see us at least for the next 2 weeks on a rotating basis until we can get the staff in. We are trying anything and everything possible. We have made a decision that, we have a lot of younger people who are in school, and they do not like to pick up in the middle of the week. But obviously they pick up, they work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we have enough servers at that time. So we've provided an incentive that if they pick up one shift Monday through Thursday, we will give them an increased salary or an increased dollar or $1.50 to their wage to help support that. We have a call today with the Dublin City Schools to try and tout our incredible scholarships that we have. So we're going to try and use that as a claw. And then obviously we're working to do some social media because a lot of our kids don't look on Indeed to get a job. They use social media. And so we're changing our approach from a recruitment standpoint specific to a younger generation. So we are also looking at wages to see what we can do, but we're very sensitive that wages, obviously our main source of revenue comes from your monthly fees. So if we increase the wages $150,000 or $200,000, which is what really the market is bearing, $50,000 is equal to 1% of a fee increase. So when we make these adjustments, it ultimately will come back to your monthly fee. So we're trying to find that delicate balance. Obviously, us serving is not helpful for anyone, especially you, because I don't know if you've seen me carry a tray, but it's not ideal. But certainly there are some things that we're working on from that perspective. I'm going to let Seth talk about kind of the staffing piece as it relates to the health center, but I will tell you that 2 weeks ago we had like 28 open positions, and now we are down to 14 open positions. And I'll let him talk about the health center. And we were in the same situation in the health center probably for the past couple of months. You just didn't see it. And so thankfully now we've adjusted and made some adjustments to the salaries, and we have just a couple STNA openings, but we have no nurses. So we can serve, obviously. We more importantly want to make sure the health center is staffed appropriately. So I'll let him talk about that, and then I'll finish up.
State-tested nurses aides. So we, in September, we were hard, and I really appreciate
We probably can adjust the A, B, and C from the back a little bit. Well, I'll keep talking while he does that. And he can try and do it. Can you hear me now? Yes. Can you hear me better? Yeah. This is B. This is C. We'll do this later. Okay. All right. Wrong one. Okay, so we'll, just so everyone knows, 789 is the internal number, and then if you are external, it's 614-761-3330. I feel like I'm a telethon, and that's if people at home in your PJs want to ask a question. But we'll start with questions in the room. Yes, Mr. Jakes. There we go. When will the roofing project in Alderwood be completed? It was intended to be completed last week, but it turns out that it's been raining nonstop. So the roofing project is slated, if we can keep the rain away, to be done next week, and then the gutters will be after that. It's delayed because of the weather. It seems like it's been a very long project, though, but I think they can't work if there is moisture, obviously, so they're working between the rain gods. Good question. Yes, Rahini, and then Kathy. Is there a Channel 51 connection in the health center? And the answer is yes. So we worked very hard when we designed Waterford and Alderwood that they would have an option to have whatever you have in independent living. And then in Waterford, they have a Creston system, so just like this, and they're very expensive. We made the decision to just put one in Alderwood and one All right, can you hear me? I hope at home you can hear us. Technology is a beautiful thing, right?
Try that one.
This one, can you hear it? This one's on the sides though. Do you hear it? So it's going in the sides, and this one is on that side, and B must be in the middle, from a zone perspective.
I now think I know what the problem is. Hold
Tom's
on.
gonna save the day. So A sounds like it's Fireside, C sounds like it's Alderwood, D sounds like it's. I forgot the question. Oh, restaurant, yes.
We like the Touchtown digital signage piece of it is like, so
Does this one? Yay! Thanks, Tom.
it's good. Wow, okay. Is that, so in Alderwood, we were able to get a couple digital signages to add to the screens over there. And then our activities team can designate which slides go which part of our campus. So, you know, over here we see what's going on over on our side of the house. Over there, they have the option to put content directly on those screens that would be visible to our residents in that area, and also have content across the board with an overarching theme. But we definitely have Channel 51 over there available.
Yeah, because we're like short-term, we're in short-term care.
Yes.
You don't want to miss out on what's going on.
Correct. And often our TVs are often on Channel 51 in our lobby areas, and then we've got the digital signage installed here in the last week that can really show what's happening specific to Alderwood. So we are working November. We're really hopeful will be another round of Touchtown sessions with a focus on culinary services. So reservations, resident balance. So be on the lookout for that. I've been working with Full Count, who's our point of sale partner, and really waiting for them to finalize a couple things. But November should be the month that we'll have a couple Q&A, here's how it works sessions similar to the launch that will be specific to culinary, because I know I've talked about that, and I think we're finally at the point where we're gonna roll that out. So that'll be in November.
Kathy?
Yeah, when will the installation of the windows get started for Brandywine?
So the question is, when will the installation of the windows get started for Brandywine? So let me clarify one thing. Not all the windows in Brandywine will be done, just those facing whatever direction the rain and the wind go. We all know I'm directionally challenged, so I don't know what that is. So those will be there. They actually, I saw them doing some tuck pointing yesterday in Ash Run. So they are working a little bit on that, but it's like everything else. There's just not enough people, and Adina is the company that's doing it. So it's a little labor. We know the windows are in a shipping container in the middle of the ocean. But there's some tuck pointing and some sealing that needs to be done prior to the windows being installed. So I don't have a definitive date, but hopefully soon.
So when you say not all windows will be done, what do you really mean by that?
So when I say not all windows will be done, so this is we're investing $500,000 this year into the windows. This project is probably going to cost us $2 million. So we are taking the windows that have the most amount of damage and working through those first. So if you think about the way the elements come in, they come in. Andy, oh, he's so lucky. Andy, which direction does the wind come that we're replacing the windows for? West and south. Perfect timing, Andy. So the west and south windows will be done first. So if you are in a Brandywine or Ash Run, and and you have some west or south facing windows, those will be in the first batch, correct? Correct. Andy says correct. That's not where they were working yesterday. I may be mistaken on that, so.
If I may, they haven't started yet. I believe next week, as I heard from Andy, that they will start to work on some of the masonry corrections.
So Andy's saying that he hears through the grapevine that they're starting next week. Don't hold us to it though, right, Andy? That's the gossip on the street. We hope it's true. Good question. What other questions? Oh yeah, Barb. Yeah, so Barb's comment is it's very hard to make a reservation in Riverwalk. And yes, we agree with that. We recognize that. That's why Seth is working to try and automate and make it easier to make the reservation. I think some of the challenge that we're having, which is now frustrating to all of you, is that we don't have enough staff. So we have to close the Riverwalk Monday and Tuesday. And then during the day, when we would normally have somebody who would be available to return reservation, emails, phone numbers, they are working in the legacy. So we're just spread really, really thin. So it would be my suggestion that if you could just pop down around 4, if you don't make your reservations online, you can still make them online. So that's what I would suggest. But we recognize that it's frustrating to you. It's frustrating to us as well, which is why Seth and Matt are working through that process. True? True. Okay, 7, 8, 9 for you people at home. No one's calling. What other questions? Yes, Dot.
Is there any talk about masks will no longer be required in your?
So is there any discussion or talk, gossip, if the masks will no longer be required? So our positivity rate is 4.9 in Franklin County. So I'm sure with a positivity rate less than 5, there will probably be some changes to Franklin County's mask ordinance when you leave Friendship Village. So for those of you who don't go out, if you are in the city of Columbus, masks are required to go into a store or any establishment. I think around here, we talk about our layers of Swiss cheese. Masks are a layer of Swiss cheese, and we're getting into flu season. This is where we had a little lull last year, and then obviously we had a really bad outbreak in December. So I don't suspect that the masks are going to go away in Friendship Village. I do think perhaps they'll go away in the Franklin County area, but that's obviously not in our jurisdiction. With the positivity rate below 5%, the health center has the option to remove their eyewear and their N95 mask. I'm not sure where we'll land on that either, but this is a perfect opportunity to talk about our COVID policy. So we have a COVID policy that was created by our board of directors or drafted, I guess, approved by the board of directors, indicating that all associates will be required to get a flu shot and a COVID series, so their first 2, if it's a Pfizer, by November 30th. If they do not have a booster, or excuse me, if they do not have a COVID shot vaccine, they will be required to, across campus, test twice a week and also wear an N95 mask. We also have some that have medical or religious exemptions. They also will be required to test twice a week and wear an N95 mask. In addition, they're not eligible for a promotion and or they get their cost of living adjustment, but they don't get their performance increase if they do not have their COVID shot. At this point, the booster is not mandated. It's only the series at this point. So masks are not probably going away, is the moral of the story on that.
Can I just ask a touchdown question?
Yeah.
Occasionally, I get an alert on the touchdown icon. And when I go in, I look for an announcement, there's no announcement. I look at the messages, there's no messages. So what is causing that alert to appear?
Does the alert, is it more like does it look like a text message reminder that you're signed up for?
The icon, it's just something on the icon.
But it's not,
This morning there was one, and I went into announcement, and there was an announcement there. But sometimes there's no announcement and there's no message.
gotcha.
What is prompting that alert?
So there's just an alert on the actual icon that you would normally touch. It's not an actual like text message, hey, you've signed up.
It's magic.
Well, I think it means I'm signed up for something that day.
Gotcha. Well, let me ask that. I can ask Touchdown that specific question because I am familiar with. Okay, I am familiar with the alerts. Like Dot mentioned that, hey, I'm signed up for. It's usually a 24-hour notice. I'm signed up for something tomorrow at 11. Hey, reminder. But I am not familiar with an actual alert on the icon. So let me ask that question. Good to know.
What other questions? Betsy, do you have a question? No. Jess, do you have a question? Do any of you have a question? Do any of you have a comment? Do any of you have a joke? Yes, thank you.
It isn't a joke, but Ohio State University uses robots to deliver meals to students. Did you ever think of looking into that?
So the comment is Ohio State uses robots to deliver food to residents, and have we looked into it, Seth?
Well, I was just at a national conference. I got back last night, and we did see several different robots. So, as what I have gone to a lot of conferences statewide and nationally for long-term care services over this period of years, and I have not looked that hard into it yet. But my big picture takeaway was, you used to go to those expos for these types of association conferences, and like half of it would be like DME, vans, but it has changed rapidly from in the last 2 to 3 years that it is all technology driven now, and it's pretty jarring just walking through this massive hall and you're seeing robots and you stop to talk to them. Hey, what's the intention behind this? So those kinds of options are coming into the marketplace, and they're coming quickly. We have not sat down and made a plan as far as how those fit yet, but it's coming quickly. And I assure you, Rita and I, we like to be ahead on things, so we're not afraid to look into those types of situations. But it's funny you say that. I saw some robots yesterday, so.
Yeah.
People stop for traffic lights. They
Yeah.
can students order from restaurants along High Street.
Yeah.
And they can cross High Street and stop at the intersection.
Wow. Yeah.
The one that we saw in a community, its name was Robbie. I thought that was cute. And they were just piloting it in a community because they're having some of the same challenges we are, specifically in the dining room. So the server or you would take your food, and Robbie would bring your food to you. So we need to look at it and see. I don't know. It seems a little Jane Jetson-y, but it's
Yeah,
certainly something that we need to address.
Yeah, at the last session I attended yesterday was about transportation accessibility. It was a really good session. A lot of feedback from us in the audience and then the moderators, but kind of the last slide was like, who's ready for self-driving vans and cars? And will that solve all of our challenges? So it's crazy to think that's right around the corner. So
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Belleville.
Scott's support in our dining room table last night deserved at least 2 gold stars.
Just 2 for Scott?
I told you I was waiting on the tip share.
No tips, Scott. No tips.
I'm sure you are happy because I had a table of 4 gentlemen and somebody got a giant iced tea. I think I way overdid it on the ice cream. So they're probably looking for me every night. Good thing I don't serve the food.
We have a little text chain for our team, and so the comments last night were, thank God we didn't break anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was also cute. I think Craig was telling the story this morning that somebody asked for strawberry shortcake ice cream. And so he went in and he got the pink strawberry shortcake ice cream, but it turns out that the ice cream is not pink, it's white. And so somebody got strawberry ice cream instead of strawberry shortcake ice cream, but you win some and you lose some, right? So, yes, Barb.
We need an updated list on visitors, because one person's got a yes to visitor, another one goes to no, and here I see a visitor in.
Yeah.
And I see people checking in with suitcases, so we need an updated what is allowed family visitors.
Perfect. So we can do that next week in the community update. But just to review, Barb saying she would like to have an updated description of what visitors, not visitors, and so visitors are allowed and encouraged with a couple of exceptions. One, we're still not opening the dining room, and we were close to opening, and then now we have the staffing crisis. So when we can get our staffing back up, we're going to open the dining room for guests. We hope we're going to do everything in our power to have it be before Thanksgiving. But visitors are allowed to come into the building. They're allowed to spend the night. We are asking that they are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and or have a negative COVID test within 48 hours of coming to Friendship Village. So our guest rooms are open. Your apartments, they can come to. Just be smart. I mean, we all know the important things. Wear your mask as much as possible, 6 feet. Make sure if you can ventilate your apartment during or after their visit, that would be great. And make sure that you're vaccinated and they're vaccinated. So, but we'll reiterate that in the community update next week. Yes.
One question on the same lines. Can a visitor come and substitute at a private activity in a public room like the art gallery, for example? Or they are only allowed in our apartments?
So we've said that visitors can attend a community like.
Let me repeat the question. So the question is, can a visitor come and be in a common area, essentially?
So what we've said about visitors in our community life programming, wellness programming, as long as that visitor is not taking a place that would be otherwise used by a resident. So, noting that some of our capacities are limited right now, you just want to check with whoever's running that program to make sure there's capacity. I didn't answer your question.
No, you didn't. It's a private group meeting in a public room.
A private,
It's not a friendship.
so can we host a private group meeting in a public room that includes somebody from outside? So I think we've done that occasionally, as long as they continue to screen in, they're vaccinated. that has happened, and so I think that should be fine. It's a mix of Friendship Village and, yeah. So the question is, can someone come and attend a meeting, from outside Friendship Village and come here to do it? And yes, as long as they come in and they screen and they show their vaccine card and all that stuff, wear their masks, et cetera.
Good question. Polly?
The Fireside Run, is it ever possible to have it for some group and nobody else can come?
Yes. So the question is the Fireside Room available for events, private events? And the answer is yes. You can reserve it at the front desk. And yes, it can be your event. But we are not catering in the Fireside Room. So if you wanted to have a bridge group or a food, or not a food group, a book club, you could have it, but we just don't, we're not allowing food in that area. The other options are the Hayden Run Room you can rent or reserve. You can reserve the Kinsale Room. You can reserve the Fireside Room. You can reserve, I believe, the Game Room, the Art Gallery. So there are options of people to have reserved rooms, and they can be done at the front desk.
I was wondering because we wanted to go watch the football game in the Fireside Room, and there were a lot of people in there, and they told me to get out because it was private, and I didn't know whether that's correct or if it means.
That is correct. So somebody can reserve those spaces for gatherings. Yes. The Riverstone Room is also an option. Yes.
To her point, if you have approval for a private party in a Fireside Room or somewhere like that, can someone make a sign that goes on the door that says private party?
Yeah, we could probably get a stand and have it put out there so people can see. That's a good point.
Party in progress.
Private party, don't come in. No boys allowed.
No boys.
You can watch the football game in lots of different areas. So traditionally, the Muirfield Room has the game on. The Hayden Run Room has a TV. The cafe downstairs, you can watch the TV. The bistro, the Riverstone Room. So there are lots of options for TVs. The Players Club, yeah. Yes, Norm. Oh, the TV. I'm sorry. I was like, yeah. Come on, Scott. Good questions. Has anybody gotten the survey yet? No. We heard that one person this morning got a survey. So, all right. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, again, I will reiterate Scott's appreciation for your patience and grace as we go through this. We keep saying that we will get through it together. We know that we survived COVID. We're going to survive this. It's a little hairy right now. So we appreciate your cooperation, your patience, your grace. And if we spill something on you in the dining room, we also appreciate your forgiveness. So we'll be here if there's any questions. Tomorrow's Halloween dress-up day. So if you're going to dress up, tomorrow's the day to do that. And we hope you have a great day. Thank you.